Hello friends, namaste. Currently I'm in Kakrighat. You can see a beautiful people tree behind me and also a board here. And that people tree that you see is a descendant of a tree that was there earlier. So under which Swami Vivekananda had the most exalted experience of samadhi, in which the most intricate question of his life about this origin of this universe and the plan on which the different things in the universe are built and the universe itself is built. So there he found a solution to this, and in fact expresses that in one of his letters. And later on we see that when Swami Vivekananda went to America, he gave a lecture on this. It's called the Macrocosm. It's a very beautiful lecture which might have read probably some 10, 15 times or more even. That's where you actually see the Hindu idea of evolution, and which Swami Vivekananda himself experienced here. So there when you see the different things that we see in the universe, and whenever we are tempted to ask on what plan the universe has been built, and is there a different plan for different things, there Swami Vivekananda found the answer by his own experience. It's not something like a reading. So here he felt that the plan on which an atom is built, it's the same plan on which the universe is also built. And when you go through the life cycle of a tree or that of a bird, so of that of a hill or a mountain, so everything it goes in a cycle. It starts from one form and goes back to that form. That seed, it becomes a tree and goes back to the seed form. Likewise we see the bird and the the egg, and even the mountains, and then into sand, and sand into mountains. So water into vapor, and vapor into water. So everything undergoes a cyclical change. And Swami Vivekananda, he experienced here that the universe itself goes back to the minute form, and then it comes back again, expressing itself in all these forms. So what we see, the water, the air, the earth, everything is an expression of that cosmic intelligence which Swami Vivekananda calls God. So there are questions people ask: why should we use the word God? We can use some other word instead of God. Swamiji says that no, these words are not invented by some people just like that. So they carry a great meaning, and all the aspirations of humanity have been centered upon that one word, God. So, and he says that is the best word we can use for this word, cosmic intelligence. It doesn't really matter which word you use, but the spirit behind that is what should be understood. So we call it as God. And then the concluding part of this lecture, Macrocosm, is just amazing. You may read probably 100 times, and each time you read it, you will feel so elevated. It's something like um, everything is God. He says, Swamiji, in his most beautiful language, everything that you see, hear, or feel is the projection of the Lord. To be more accurate, it is the no to start with, it is the creation of the Lord, so to say. Then he says, to be more accurate, it is the projection of the Lord. And to be still more accurate, it is the Lord Himself. So, whatever we see around us, not just the material objects or the living beings, even something like a speech, the light that we see around us, everything is the platform on which I'm standing. And then he says, the speaker, the audience, everything is the Lord. I mean, when you go through that, you almost experience a bit of samadhi yourself, though, albeit it's probably. Uh, a very obscure view of what the reality is, but still we get some idea of what Swami Vivekananda himself was going through when he was meditating here, and then when he lectured in America on that topic, macrocosm. There's also another chapter, microcosm, which he delivered on the internal nature of man. So, but regarding the whole universe, the creation that we see around it, the external universe, the macrocosm is the chapter in which we really get to read some of the most wonderful literature. So, this place, Kakrighat, is very beautiful. This is the board they have put up here. And one thing I have noticed in Uttarakhand, wherever Swami Vivekananda has gone, they have come up with some boards like this. So they have really recognized Swami Vivekananda's importance and the historical importance, and also for the future when people do come and to get inspired by his life and his travels and message. So Uttarakhand, I think they have one of the The place itself is very beautiful. It's called Dev Bhumi, and to add to that already existing spiritual fervor, they have put Swami Vivekananda wherever he has gone. They recognize. They have put boards like this. So this is the tree I showed you earlier also. Then we have this is basically a small island, you can say. This is the beautiful meditation hall, a small hall which can accommodate about 30 people or more, or slightly more. And there's a small Shiva temple here, there's a small Bhairava temple also there. And we have a river flowing by this, the Koshi river. The water is quite less, you can probably see. Actually we crossed across the road, river. It's quite beautiful, and this place itself is quite good. Whenever you visit Almora, just take some time off and visit this beautiful Kakrighat. It may require about an hour and a half minimum to experience this place. If you have more time, it will be really good. And I'm sure in the future they will be probably building some guest houses also. This is not controlled by Ramakrishna Mission. They have made a small trust here, some local people. They have done a very good job. I'm really happy to see. I came here 4 years ago. And during that time it was not that developed. Now I see that a lot of improvements have been made, and place has been maintained quite well. So this is about the Kakri Ghat in Almora. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much. Namaste.